Man, we stood on business this week. First of all, a week ago, I told you guys, in my opinion on Twitter, by the way, that this candle is a bull trap. And then fast forward 1 week later, despite getting the hate, by the way, bam, bull trap. So Bitcoin took that low out again. I'm not surprised at all. You guys know my last 2 videos on YouTube, we're talking about Solana and how I think Solana is going to be the tell. 2 or 3 videos, I don't know. And man, we stood on business. I stuck to my guns. And despite everybody being so negative in the comments and whatever, saying, oh, I'm an idiot, I'm delusional, blah, blah, blah. What happened? Solana ended up hitting $140 just like we expected. And if you've been following me, first of all, the Nexus knew. So shouts out to the Nexus, okay? But even the public knew. So if you're not following me on Twitter, the link is in the bio, the link is in the pinned comment, TraderGeo_YT, because I did keep you guys up to date with Solana. And you guys got to understand, I can't make videos as quick as I can't, like, I can post on Twitter a lot faster and a lot more than I can make videos on YouTube. YouTube videos take time and whatever, right? So, you know, I'm here up like, oh, I have a feeling Solana hasn't hit 140 yet. Let's try this again and again and again, blah, blah, blah. Let's try this again. I'm posting it every single step of the way. So if you followed this thread on Twitter, then you knew, man, you knew. And I want to go over not only why I knew, but what the needle in the coffin was, man. Because in the Nexus, okay, again, shout out to the Nexus, but in the Nexus yesterday, when we did our analysis, okay, we're using the confluence of USDT, obviously, which I still need to make that video on, but I've been very busy working on Nexus core stuff. So we're using confluence with USDT, okay? I'm giving these guys my morning update, my TA, whatever. I'm drawing a potential bullish PO3 on USDT dominance. We've been talking about all week how we're very likely going to come up to these levels, okay? Guys, I'm a trader. I trade probabilities, and I take it one level at a time. Do I know what the price of Cardano is going to be? Like somebody asked me on Twitter, no disrespect. In 6 months from now, I have no idea. But what I can tell you is what I think the probability of it going to here versus here is, and in whatever amounts of short period time, okay? So I'm looking at USDT dominance. I'm seeing this manipulation, right? Why did I even have the idea for this manipulation? Well, I told you that the entire market moves in tandem. So if USDT dominance is showing a potential PO3 because we understand that the expectational order flow is to go higher, and Ethereum, which was the needle in the coffin, man, we're going to talk about this here in just a second, was showing the absolute most beauty. Look at these 2 scenarios. I don't marry one scenario ever, okay? Ethereum is showing the most beautiful bearish setup on the map, on the radar. Man, that was the needle in the coffin. So the Nexus, I did give a video update saying I was short on Ethereum as well. I was already short on Solana. We shorted Litecoin too. So the Nexus was super short yesterday. And, you know, even like, man, I give these updates literally all the time. Like even like in real time, man, careful here, guys. It's not over yet. You know, we could shoot up very fast, right? Anyway, my point though is, look at this, PO3s across the board. I'm pointing them out. I'm saying them. I entered here. I did this. I did that. I let them know what I do. Anyways, no more shilling. Let's talk about what the needle in the coffin was. Guys, how many times on this channel have you heard me say this is what happens when you don't properly accumulate? And it is exactly what you're seeing on the screen right now. This, my friends, is called a bearish power of 3. And if you don't know what a power of 3 is, join the Nexus. The link is in the description. It's included in the course, which is included in your memberships. Okay, that's actually the last time I shill it, I promise, okay? What happens here when you have a bearish PO3? Long story short, you're leaving a bunch of liquidity. You are inducing traders into thinking that they flip this resistance into support. Idiots, okay? 95% of retail loses. Why are you learning from retail? Why are you drawing cup and handles and inverse this and potato wedges that? Why are you doing that if 95% of retail loses and that's what they've taught you? That makes no sense, okay? They are inducing, okay? Market makers are inducing traders into thinking that this low is, or that this is a support resistance flip. Okay, if you don't know what induce means, go Google it, okay? Only to send price to the downside. And what we do is we trade ranges, man. I'm trading this range. Okay, if I don't have any longs, fine. Then I'm trading this range, and I understand that this is a PO3. And these PO3s happened across the board, guys, across the board. I drew so many PO3s on yesterday. We were talking about Solana. Look at Solana. Look at the Solana PO3. Solana PO3, easy. And the Solana PO3 was fighting a possible accumulation. Do you understand how thanks for the compliment, how confident I need to be to go against an accumulation model into a higher time frame demand zone? But look at the final boss, man. I stood on business, guys. I stood on business this week. I'm telling you, I stuck to my guns. Look at what I drew. Look at what happened. Go to Solana. Man, I was very sure. I was very sure that we were going to get this. Okay. Now we did get a flip here. We did hit our high time frame zone. So was there a long to be had here? Sure. Did I get it? I got a little scalp, but nothing crazy. I'm looking to just trade this range right now. But what I could tell you is look. They fall for this all the time, guys. That's going to be the title of this video. They fall for it all the time. There's your range. There's your manipulation. There's your expansion. Okay. Look, this is why I had the video idea. Okay. Same thing on ETH right now, guys. This is what happens when you do not properly accumulate. Why? Look, watch. Why is this up here? Why is this any different than this? Any different? I would even argue it's worse now. Let me hide this because this was an update I gave to the Nexus earlier. Watch this. Let's hide this all. Let's just hide it. Watch. Let's copy paste. The sizing is going to be different. Why is this any different right now? And I'm not saying it's going to play out. We have entry triggers, okay? So don't come at me. Oh, Gio, you said bearish PO3. We have entry triggers. These are ideas. Why? Does this look different at all to you? Does this look different literally at all to you? Like, let's be objective here for a moment. Let's be objective. Let's get our liquidity curve. Does this look different to you? It doesn't look different to me. That looks the exact same. So why would they not just rinse it down again? Because everybody on Twitter and everybody everywhere always is telling you to buy the dip, 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 buy the dip. This is what they fall for, man. They fall for it. And if you've been falling for this video is to help you not fall for it. Okay? I don't want you to fall for this anymore. Okay? Now, last thing, because I gotta go. I'm busy today. Quick video. Last thing we need to talk about. Let me hide all this. Okay? Last week, for the past 2 weeks, we've been talking about, I don't think the low is in until Solana hits $140. Well, Solana hit $140. Okay, fine. Now there's one more thing that we need to watch for, and this doesn't have to happen right away, okay? So just like the Solana trade took 2 weeks to play out, and people were in my comments being assholes and evidently looking foolish in the end of it, which you don't need my help to do. Patience. So Ethereum has a smart money range going on. Okay, we got a smart money range. I teach you all this in the Nexus. You have a 1, you have a 2, you have a 3 tap, model 1 distribution, and you're currently, however you want to draw the structure, you could draw it this way, you could draw it this way, right? If it's this way, it's better because that's an SFP, but this is not a confirmed SFP because I need structure to flip, which means that low needs to go again, and you have that bearish power of 3 like I just showed you, okay? The target for this distribution should be at the minimum the range low, which is this low here. So while Solana grabbed the liquidity that we've been talking about, right? We've been spot on. Like I said, we stood on motherfucking business. While it grabbed those equal lows, and I was like, it's very unlikely for us to not hit that. Now, I think we need to shift our focus to Ethereum because now I think we're going to head for this. Because in order for this SFP to confirm and for us to go higher, we need to flip structure. The only way we're going to flip structure is if we take that low again. So you either SFP that low again and then come and break up, which there might be a long here, or you expand your range here where you do get like a model 1 accumulation where you do take that low out again and then you go up, sure. Or what'll happen is you'll go ba 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 ba, in which case I'm looking to hammer the short button, or it just does this and catches everybody off guard, which could happen. Look, I don't make predictions, okay? I make high probable I do high probable analysis and I focus on the probabilities and I say, if it does this, then I will do this. If it does this, then I will do that. Anyways, that's it for this video, my friends. Have a great weekend. Trade safe, be good. Listen, if you lost yesterday, I know a lot of people did, man. There was like 1 billion in liquidations or something, which is crazy to me. Okay. By the way, real quick before I go, why did I say on Twitter that this, let me hide this. Let me just go to a clean chart. Why did I say on Twitter that this candle right here, this guy right here was going to be, wait, which one was it? No, daily candle, this candle. Why did I say on Twitter that this daily candle was going to be a bull trap? Why did I say that? Okay. Why did I know it was going to be a bull trap? And the answer is simple, guys. Okay. Most people, respectfully, that don't know what they're doing, they just think, oh, 1 candle dictates this. If this was going to be a reversal to the upside, you don't think that trading would be way too easy? You don't think everybody would be successful as opposed to 95% of people not being successful? You need to understand context. You need to understand what's going on. You need to build the narrative with what's happening, okay? Anyways, long story short, this ended up being a bull trap, okay? And you can see it in the numbers, right? There's numbers 1 billion liquidated. Man, I'm seeing stuff on Twitter where people are posting the heat map. I don't know if I replied to it, but people are posting the heat map and they're like, oh, you know what comes next because there's so much liquidity up here. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely liquidity up here. However, do you have to go for that right now? Just because, let's just say all the liquidity was wiped out from here, which it's not, right? Not even close, right? There's a lot of liquidity below the range low. You don't need a heat map or any other Mickey Mouse Clubhouse shit to tell you where the liquidity is. The liquidity is below this low, okay? So in the event that we do make a run for this liquidity, right? Or we ran for this liquidity, how much in liquidations got wiped out? It was like 1 billion or something, okay? People are like, oh, that's bullish. 1 billion just got liquidated and now we're going higher. No. Look at where we are. Look at where Bitcoin is. Look at where this low is. If 1 billion got liquidated here, first of all, how much do you think is here? And second of all, how confident are the bulls? How confident are the bulls if that's going to happen, right? If 1 billion are going to get stopped out here, and that's not even the range low yet, that's telling me that the bulls are so aggressively confident. Like, it's unbelievable. And by the way, this is the exact same reason why back in February, I made a capitulation 2.0 video. Okay, no, not February. Yeah, back in February, when we had this huge liquidation, right? We had this huge wick on Ethereum, for example. And I said, I'm like, this wick is bearish as shit. And look at what happened. Don't fall for it. Have a good weekend. Trade safe. Be good. If you lost yesterday, listen, today's a new day. Today's a new trade. Back on the horse. One love. Shout out to the Nexus. Peace out.